Hello, welcome to Just a Table. I love doing these videos because it's all about picking and then jarring up and deciding what to do with stuff. So I spent about £50 on this little lot. I have some ideas on what I'm going to do with it. With the blackberries, this was £7 for this little lot, and I've pondered what to do with it. There's only so much jamming you can do, but I've decided to supplement. These were £2 each for British raspberries, so I'm going to join these two together, do something different with this and something different with this. Okay, let's get on with it. Right, so here we're going to start on what to do with preserving these goodies. Now, they were lovely until sort of 3 hours later, and here I am doing them, and the strawberries obviously disintegrate before your very eyes. This cost me £40, and I bought 2 of these raspberries, £2 each. So they're going to be added to this. So I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, and you can stay and watch me prepare. I will be doing this speeded up, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with it. After much deliberation, with the cherries, I'm simply going to do them in a light syrup, and then I'm just going to jar them. That's it. So canning, take out the pips, can them, light syrup, get them away. If I feel up to it, I might put some aside to dry. Don't know, see how I go. But with the strawberries, they're going to be split into 2 different ones. The really good ones, because it's quite a sizable amount of strawberries, the good ones I am going to can in a light syrup and just leave it as that. And when I mean a light syrup, I mean a very light syrup, because I was thinking I might do teas with this. The ones that are already going dodgy by the second, I'm going to can them with sugar that I'm going to take notice of how much sugar I'm going to put in, because I'm probably going to use that for brewing, and they're going to be put aside, making into a very more of a heavy sugared compote. And I'm going to write on the label that these are for miscellaneous, but they can be, you know, whatever. And then I'm going to get a few of all of these, and I'm going to dry them. I only want probably 1 or 2 trays, and I'm going to dry them for putting in muffins and you know, fairy cakes. We call them fairy cakes, or the muffins, or cookies. So that's my pronged attack. Now, lastly then, this is such a small amount, and there's 2 things you can do with this to really bulk it up. This is after we've all washed them all, by the way. With this, I'm thinking there's 2 options here. I can wash them, cut them up with very large slices of quite sour, hard apples, can them with sugar, and mark them as a crumble base, a fruit crumble base. Or the other option is to use the raspberries with them, do the same thing, and again put it down as a fruit crumble. But I do intend on trying to dry a little bit of everything, and I'll be putting them in a very small container as dried fruit for muffins and cakes and cookies. So yeah, let's see how we go. Right, so I'm quite happy with that. These are my mushy ones that are sort of like this. They've all been cleaned. I'm not going to cut them or halve them or anything, because I'm going to put them in go away fly. I'm going to put them in a pressure canner for about 60 minutes and they should all go in. This way I can do whatever I want with it, but at a later stage, knowing that they are mushy, but it is full. There's a bit of sugar to help preserve it, but I'm just going to mush it down. Look at that. Fits in one jar. Excellent. I believe in staying as open-minded, because you've got to feel your food, you know. We've got to look at what we've got and ask us what is it telling us. And to me, this is telling me, don't worry about it, save it, you can do stuff with it later, but right now it's mushy as heck. So let's just get rid of that, get it canned, and I've got something for a pudding or something at a later date. Such a lot of noise, sorry. So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons, or these are dessert spoons, and I will put that on my pack. 2 dessert spoons, and fill it with water, and we're off to go. So I was guessing, as I was getting those strawberries ready and to go and can them, I thought, well, what shall I do with the really good strawberries? Because after all, my kids don't particularly love strawberries. They won't have them on their own. One will eat them as jam, as I will, but apart from that, they won't eat them whole. So I thought, well, what am I doing? And then it occurred to me, strawberry sauce. So these are in great condition, and it seems like a crying shame to do it, but they will appreciate strawberry syrup, strawberry sauce, rather, you know, on ice cream than they will anything else. So all we're going to do is just cook these a little bit, mash them up, add a cup of sugar, and off we go. So it's amazing how things just kind of metamorphosize while you're doing things. But so I thought, you know what, I will add some apples to it and put the raspberries on top, and I've put 2 tablespoons of sugar on top of that, and I've managed to get 3 500 milliliter, half a litre jars of crumble mix ready for if I get that instant fruit hit. So I'm just gonna, these are sort of dessert spoons, I'm just gonna kind of put 2 and a bit. They've all been cleaned. Oh, I'm going to add a little bit of water to it, not much though. Just a tad, because they make so much of their own juices. Probably about halfway up, if truth be told. Let that bubble down. Right, I've decided once and for all, I'm going to use my 500 milliliter. I'm going to decide that I'm going to do 2 crumbles with this, and this will be enough for a small crumble for us as a family. So obviously if you've got more, then more people in your family, then you do you. But I'm just probably going to cut in half, I think, and share it between these 2 and save the best ones for drying, and then I'm going to add the raspberries. Right, so now it's time to just cut these up. I want them nice little chunks. I don't want them too big, because otherwise the boys will reject them. So you do your little slices how you wish, but knowing that these are going to shrink to at least half, I'm going to do it like that. So teeny little centimetre by centimetre bits, and I shall speed it up. Put the strawberries here, and put some of these blackberries also onto one side as well. These will be absolutely delicious in muffins and cakes. Well, this is my pitting station, and I just wanted to walk through it briefly with a few tips. So you want the navel to be at the top, and I know that a lot of people, especially by the time you've gone to 200 or 400 of these, you're like, I don't care how it goes in, but you will when you put it in that way, and of course you're making a great big hole in it and you're squidging it super quick. It's going to come out of the navel, the juice, so it'll go sideways. So it's just worth just doing that. Now look how quick I'm doing it. So it's much better for yourself and your kitchen if you just spend that extra second. Now the other tip I want to give you is don't worry too much about debubbling. In fact, I wouldn't debubble, and I tell you why. We're going to pack these cherries in my 1 litre jars really well, and then we're going to put the lid on, and then we're going to swish the jar around, and you'll find that a lot of the bubbles make their way up just by doing that before I put it in your water bath canner. And I'm making sure that I'm going to pack the cherries in really top and I like this having a shoulder because I can really shove them in and pack them so they're not bobbling around once I've put the lid on. And I found that that is by far the best way of stopping the cherries from hitting the lids, and stopping the lids from fully sealing. So I'm nearly there at the top now. You can heat the jars up, but by the time you heat the jars up and you've filled the jar up, it's gone cold again. So what I tend to do is I tend to trickle in my light syrup slowly and just swish around as I go, and I never find any problems if I do it that way. This is the sort of procedure where, so that you don't go out of your mind, that you do actually have a film on the go, and you're watching something on your phone or your iPad. But okay, so that is all in now. Okay, it's nicely filled. Don't be scared of pressing down a bit. All I do is have my watery hand and I just do it over. I don't bother with a flannel. No. Okay, so that's where we are now. And we're just going to trickle bits in at a time. And they're not moving. Can you see the cherries aren't moving? And I'm aiming to these cherries shouldn't really move too much. And I'm just going just at the bottom, or the bottom ring of where the lid goes, you know, just sort of slightly above the shoulder of the can. Now that one's going to float, but I'm not going to worry about it. Again, make sure nice and clean, and we'll get that lid on. And then I'm just going to double check, and yeah, there's no air coming up because I've really debubbled on the way. I'm happy with that. And in it goes. 25 minutes. Okay, top tip number I don't know what. I sometimes do, and I think they sometimes call this like the open canning method. I've got the lid on here just because I don't want all the steam coming out like that, but it helps retain some of the water. But basically, when I can't be bothered to get out my large one here, because I'm only doing a few 1 litre jars, then I will do this, and I think they call it the open kettle method. Now, how do I trust it, you say? Well, here's the thing. Once the water inside, and you have a look at one of the jars and you can see that the water is bubbling up, from the point where I see the water with teeny little beads is bubbling up, then I know that that water is beginning to reach a boiling point. So I start counting my 25 minutes of canning this once I see that the bubbles are coming to the surface. And I don't know if you can see. Let's take this off and see if we can see. Right, can you see that? So I know that 25 minutes I'm taking that out. Right, so to further explain why I tell you that it's not important to debubble these cherries if you follow what I recommend, although it's only recommendation, you do you, is that when you take these out, what I'll do is I will tip it. I take it out, right, I put it on the side, I get this, I put my labels on, I don't want to squidge it, and I just tip it very gently, and I do it the other way, and then I do it this way, and then I do it that way, very gently, and then I leave it to finish off sealing when it's just come out of the canner, and I never have any problems whatsoever. Anyway, so let's move on then to this. I added it all up, and I found out that if we count these as £4 worth, and these as sort of, if you bought it in the shop, as £2, I've worked out that I've probably, and including the electricity, probably saved about £7. So it's not a huge save, but I know what's in it, and they will last me for a while. So let's go through. So I've got my 3, have I got my 3? Yeah, I've got my 3 litre of cherry in syrup, 3 smaller ones. I've got my strawberry with my 2 tablespoons of sugar, which I'll deal with at some point in the future. I've got my 4 strawberry sauces. I then have my blackberry, apple and raspberry, and a bit of a tip here, blackberry and raspberry is an awfully long word to put on. Excuse my nails. I've been drying foods and gardening, and they never look nice. Anyway, so what I do is I put a heart, which looks a little bit like a berry. So it's blackberry, apple and raspberry. And so I know that I have 3 things here, and you know, I just, at a glance, it's easy for me to work out. Here are my cherries, and I got my son to try these. First time he's tried dried cherries, and he really liked them. Here is my raspberry and strawberry, and he also liked them too. They're just conditioning still. And because I couldn't help myself, I bought 2 pounds of peas and sweet corn and did those at the same time. And because I'm a little bit mental, I've got my strawberry leaves in here, drying, ready for teas, because the farmer let me have a few of those, so I'm very happy about that. So I think I deserve to finally have a cup of tea, and I think I'm going to have some slice of toast and butter. Bye everyone.